Jamaica, an island of faith, vision, and resilience. Within its bustling capital and across its verdant hills, the East Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists has been quietly transforming lives, one steward at a time. This is the story of 4 years of mission, ministry, and movement, told by those who lived it.
I have served in the conference before for 3 terms in Sabbath School and Personal Ministries and Evangelism Directorship. And now, 2022, I'm handed this position from Pastor Steele, who did a tremendous job before. I'm building on that foundation. But now I see stewardship as a very, very distinguished, and may I even use the word demanding, call to ask people to rise higher in their spiritual climb and to be partners with God, because God is the owner of everything. And stewardship is saying that God has called us to partner with Him in owning, managing, and control what He Himself has designed by creation and redemption. And so stewardship is really partnership with God in managing God's estate.
The department's mandate was bold: inspire at least 90% of active members with stewardship education, help 80% practice faithfulness in benevolence, and empower members towards holistic growth and prosperity. 8 strategic goals guided the department through the Quadrennium. Among them, engendering spiritual maturity in 80% of active membership and educating at least 50% of adult active members in estate planning, trusts, and Christian will preparation. With visionary EJC administration and a committed pastoral team, Pastor Cunningham built a coalition of stewards. The EJC Stewardship Advisory Committee was supplemented by a landmark new body, the East Jamaica Conference Stewardship Ministries Association, or EJC-SMA, designed to revolutionize the department's reach and impact. Mrs. Herma Rose Reynolds served as the department's professional assistant and in September 2025 passed the baton to Mrs. Iona Hyde Newland, who hit the ground running.
The Bible says that we are called to be faithful stewards, and by doing so, managing our resources under God's control, making sure that we take care of ourselves, of our family, of our children and the generations following, and at the same time ensuring that we are answering God's call to manage God's estate, God's mission, and to prepare people for the soon coming of Jesus.
In January 2024, the department launched its inaugural Member Empowerment Forum, Building Generational Wealth. Held online on the first Tuesday of each month, these sessions consistently drew between 80 and 200 participants. The debut presenter on the importance of knowing the Jamaican law was Assistant Attorney General Mrs. Terry-Ann Finnegan. Sessions that followed featured Mr. Cecil Foster sharing his personal testimony of faith-driven rural entrepreneurship, Dr. Yvette Smith-Johnson, who thrilled our youth with the challenge of making right career choices, Mrs. Kennedy Davidson on generational empowerment, Miss Evadne Ramdial on financial strategy planning, and Dr. Marlene Street Forrest on the topic Stock Market Investment, Building Wealth for Families and Generations Following, and much more. The Legal Aid Clinic, a fixture every 3rd Sunday online, reached a milestone on September 15, 2024 when the first face-to-face clinic was held from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Participants received hands-on education and assistance in estate planning, trust establishment, and Christian will preparation.
I'm from the East Jamaica Conference's Legal Aid Clinic. It operates every 3rd Sunday in the month, every month of the year. What do we do there? We do, for example, wills, and we encourage everyone to have a will, whether you have plenty assets or little assets. Estate planning is good for all of us as Christians. It plans your present life and what happens to your assets when you pass on. And this myth that if you do a will, you're going to die or hasten your demise. Nothing like that. We must have faith and be good Christians in caring for ourselves and our assets while we're alive, and also to take care of our loved ones when we have passed away. So come and call to the Legal Aid Clinic, and we will assist you in whatever way we can with the making of your will. Looking forward to seeing you now.
From May 9 to 12, 2024, the East Jamaica Conference convened its inaugural Stewardship Ministries Summit at the Bahia Principe Hotel. The event drew over 70 participants and featured 7 presenters across powerful worship services and dynamic seminars. The keynote address was delivered by special guest Dr. Michael Harp of the North American Division, a defining moment for the summit's inaugural edition.
Attending the Stewardship Summit that was held at Bahia Principe was a wonderful experience for me. What I do remember is our keynote speaker, Dr. Harp, said to us that stewardship is more than money, and so it's a holistic experience, talking about our talent, our body temple. And so I was able to share it with the congregation, so they were able to see stewardship from a holistic experience, having a relationship with God and not just about finance.
Conference-wide stewardship conventions were held at churches across Kingston and beyond. At North Street, Hagley Park, Rollington Town, Halfway Tree, New Haven, Morant Bay and Yallas, engaging thousands in the message of faithful living. The Kencott Seventh-day Adventist Church stood out, hosting the Stewardship Expo twice during the Quadrennium under the leadership of Elder Karen Watson Brown, a model of initiative and excellence in member empowerment. Annual Online Stewardship Week convocations featuring presenters from across Jamaica Union and beyond reached thousands with celebration of God's goodness and principles of stewardship. Training workshops were held annually in March and April. For example, Zones 1, 2, and 3 gathered at the Halfway Tree Seventh-day Adventist Church on March 30, 2025, while Zone 4 convened at Yallas Seventh-day Adventist Church on April 13, 2025. The 2025 EJC Stewardship Expo, originally planned for October 26, 2025 at Jamaica College under the theme Empowering Families and the Generations Following, was rescheduled to May 3, 2026 due to Hurricane Melissa. The evidence of transformed stewardship is written in the numbers. The following churches achieved outstanding percentage increases in systematic benevolence, 15% and above. 22 churches recorded outstanding growth in systematic benevolence. Riverton Meadows Seventh-day Adventist Church and Port Morant Church each posted 14.94%. Arnold Road Seventh-day Adventist Church rose 18.48%, and Woodford Seventh-day Adventist Church achieved 19.61%. Roosevelt and Stadium Gardens climbed to 20.16%, while Balcom Drive reached 20.21%. Greenvale View Seventh-day Adventist Church recorded 20.79%, Peat Hill 21.52%, and Clarks Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church 21.59%. New Kingston Seventh-day Adventist Fellowship posted 22.88%, and Port Royal Seventh-day Adventist Church reached 25.01%. Albion Seventh-day Adventist Church achieved 27.88%, Padmore 28.49%, and Bull Bay 28.67%. Arcadia Seventh-day Adventist Church climbed to 29.99%, Jacks Hill to 33.41%, and Cavaliers to 34.16%. Hagley Gap Seventh-day Adventist Church soared to 38.68%, Grace Seventh-day Adventist Church to 41.11%, and Somerset to 42.17%. Dallas Castle Seventh-day Adventist Church reached 45.53%, and Stony Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church led the entire Quadrennial team with a remarkable 48.13% increase.
I must be exercising faithfulness in showing gratitude to the administration of the conference, to the departmental directors of Jamaica Union, to the pastors and zone leaders in the conference, but in a significant way also to the people on the ground who help the brethren to understand the value of faithfulness to God. And the brethren themselves, let us say a big thank you. Not just the 22 churches, but in many churches, they were faithful, they maintained a standard while others advanced. So thanks to the entire team and people.
The Morant Bay Seventh-day Adventist Church modeled a distinctive practice, incorporating daily devotional readings from Ellen G. White's Christian Service and Counsels on Stewardship directly into worship programs, deepening the biblical foundation for stewardship across the congregation. In the Hope District, Elder Oran Hall championed estate planning and will writing, ensuring that families understood the responsibility of passing not just wealth, but wisdom and kingdom values to the next generation.
I believe when Andrews had put on the Faith and Finance program, which was before COVID, and the impact on that program after COVID was that people saw us afterwards and said, thank you for that program, because they were able to go through COVID with very little stress when they got their income, because they knew what it was for. Now it's not just tithes and offering, but it's savings, investments, and personal spending. And in fact, we shared a video on YouTube about that as well, so people understand that it can be done. And I think, as I was mentioned to somebody earlier on, stewardship is about, in my opinion, and I think the book, the seminar brought it out in terms of the faith and finance, it's about building spiritual wealth, personal wealth, for generational wealth, because Proverbs 13:22 says, it says, a good man or a good woman or a good married couple leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
The journey was not without its challenges. The department candidly identified 4 critical issues confronting both the church and the wider community: inadequate preparation for burial of less fortunate members, intemperate lifestyle practices, inconsistency in church program execution, and limited family and generational wealth planning education. In response, the department committed to free retirement planning seminars for members aged 18 and over offered quarterly. Greater training of planned giving and wills and trust leaders was prioritized, alongside improved quarterly reporting from church-level leaders in all 4 zones. 4 years, thousands of lives touched, 22 churches excelling in systematic benevolence. A summit that drew 70 participants and a keynote from the North American division, monthly forums averaging 80 to 200 attendees, legal aid clinics held every 3rd Sunday, a face-to-face legal aid clinic on September 15, 2024, training workshops across all 4 zones in 2025, and the promise of a Stewardship Expo on May 3, 2026 at Jamaica College.
I must not forget my wife and children were very helpful and understanding with my extended family. And as I mentioned, that I remember my niece, who is a lawyer, and she became part of a legal team, but led by Elder Stewart and Elder Wilkins. These are persons who carried every 3rd Sunday the legal aid clinic powerfully. And then when we were ready to have face-to-face, we had over 20 different legal and professional persons who assisted us. Wonderful. And then I have to thank the actual board, which included I became the chairman. In addition to my office, I became the chairman for the association. But my first vice chairman, Elder Garth Wright from the Rollington Town Church, and my second vice chairman, Elder Magdalena Cooper de News from the Andrews Memorial Church. And then there were a stream of others who were part of the group. They were so brilliant, so helpful.
From the hills of St. Thomas to the streets of Kingston, the East Jamaica Conference stewards have answered the call, not merely as church members, but as partners with the Almighty in the greatest mission the world has ever known.